So Black Americans are 2 times as likely to develop Alzheimer's later in life, and then Hispanic Americans are 1.5 times more likely.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Latinidad in the Lou. I'm your host Miguel Rincan, and today we're going to be talking with Ben Molina. He's the program manager in the Alzheimer's Association of Greater Missouri. But before we get to you, Ben, I just want to remind you guys to follow us on all of our social media accounts: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. When we are everywhere and anywhere as the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce of Metropolitan St. Louis. If you want to follow the podcast, if you want to follow the show, the Cámara en Vivo show, if you want to learn about every event that we got going on, just give us a follow on social media and you'll be able to be up to date with everything. But now going into the episode, hi Ben, how are you?
Hey Miguel, good. How are you?
I'm good. I remember we were talking at our last business after hours that happens once a month. It was at Midwest Bank Center.
Correct.
And we were talking about it and you came up to me and you were like, hey Miguel, how can I be on your podcast?
I'm glad I didn't have to bribe you. No, thank you for the invite.
No, yeah, I was like, it's gonna be like $25, but
yeah.
No, but we're really happy you're here. We're glad we made it happen. So for people who don't know you, who don't know like what the Alzheimer's Association is, can you just tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the place you work?
Yeah, absolutely. Hi, everybody. My name is Ben Molina. I'm a program manager for the Alzheimer's Association. I have been with the association for about 4 years. My background is in social work. I have a master's in social work, and I was born in Bolivia, so I'm a transplant to the United States and also to St. Louis.
Okay. I actually didn't know that. You were born in Bolivia. Nice. See, I've talked to you so many times, and the first thing, now I finally learned that about you. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've been connecting with so many people here in the St. Louis area who are from Bolivia, which is just wonderful.
Nice. Yeah, that's great. So I was going through your website, and obviously you guys have the Alzheimer's Association. You guys focus on Alzheimer's, right? But do you guys focus on, because I keep seeing like other type of like mental diseases like dementia and stuff. Mm-hmm. What kind of diseases do you guys, what mental disability, I guess, I don't know if that's the word for it, what else do you guys focus on? Because I know a lot of people maybe have the misconception that you guys only deal with Alzheimer's.
Yeah, so the Alzheimer's Association, we're a nonprofit organization, and we're really the leading organization for care and support and research when it comes to Alzheimer's and dementia. And you're not the first one that's asked me, what is Alzheimer, what is dementia, is it a mental illness? Because there is a common misconception that it's similar to maybe depression or anxiety, but it's really, it's not a mental illness, it's a disease of the brain.
Okay.
So it's a progressive disease where your brain is slowly shrinking, which is called atrophy, and brain cells are dying, and this is causing the person to experience changes in their memory, their thinking, and their reasoning. Yeah. And so it's not just memory, it's really impacting their brain as a whole and their ability to function in their environment.
Okay. So it's not like a mental disability or a mental disease. Like it's an actual disease, like you said, like it's shrinking the brain. I didn't know that it was actually shrinking the brain. That sounds, yeah.
And so the Alzheimer's Association, although our name is Alzheimer's Association, we're providing services to anybody that's impacted by any form of dementia.
Okay.
Alzheimer's is really the most common type of dementia, but there are key differences when we're talking about dementia and Alzheimer's. And I'd love to explain that to you.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was going to be my next question. What's the difference in... Yeah, because
we get, whenever I'm talking with families, they always ask me this question, what is the difference? So when we're talking about dementia, really think of it as this general term.
Okay.
That's describing these group of symptoms that are impacting a person's memory, thinking, and their reasoning. So with these symptoms, there are many different types of dementias and many things that are causing them to happen. So for Alzheimer's, when someone has Alzheimer's disease, it's a type of dementia, and it means that the changes in memory, thinking, and reasoning are being caused by these plaques and these tangles in a person's brain that are destroying their brain cells. But there's lots of different types of dementia. So vascular dementia is another common form. So this is typical for someone with cardiovascular issues, like a stroke. If they've had strokes in the past, it can cause this form of dementia. There's Lewy body dementia, there is frontotemporal dementia, Parkinson's related dementia. So a whole host of different types of dementia, but the common thing is that memory, thinking, and reasoning, all of these are having this impact on the brain.
I didn't know that there were actually like so many. There's a lot of them that you mentioned that I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what they mean. I don't know what they do. So it's great to know that there's actually more that you guys not only, because like I said, I myself and I know a lot of people, when you hear of Alzheimer's Association, of course you think of only Alzheimer's, but you guys do research. You guys do research for Alzheimer's, but I know you guys do also research for other types of dementia, right?
Yeah. We're doing research for all different types of dementia, and our goal is threefold. So one is to raise funds for research across the globe. Number two is to raise awareness about the importance of catching this disease early, so early detection, as well as reducing all of our risk in getting this disease. And then lastly, providing care and support services to families.
Okay. I've been also seeing on your website, I was looking at through it the last couple of days. There's a lot of commitment with like diversity, like equity and inclusion. Like you guys always talk about that. Like what are ways that you guys are trying to accomplish all that?
Yeah, no, this is really, really important for us as a national organization, as well as for our local chapter. Diversity, equity, and inclusion is something that is at the forefront of everything that we're doing, because we know that underserved communities, underrepresented communities are disproportionately impacted by this disease, because it's backed by research. So Black Americans are 2 times as likely to develop Alzheimer's later in life, and then Hispanic Americans are 1.5 times more likely. But it's not just people of color. We know that women have a higher risk, the LGBTQ community, Asian Americans, Native Americans.
So when you say, sorry to interrupt you, but just for people to understand, so when you say that African Americans and Hispanic Americans have like 2 times more and like 1.5 more, is that comparing to whites? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, so African Americans are twice as more likely to get Alzheimer's than a white person.
Correct.
Okay. I just wasn't sure if that's what you were basing off white people.
Good clarity. Good clarity.
Okay.
So the white American population.
Okay. So you were saying that how important equity, diversity, and inclusion is for you guys. That is at the forefront of everything you guys do. And
so what we're doing right now is trying to bring awareness of this disease and bring support and services to these communities throughout our service area. So nationally, for example, for the Hispanic community, we've developed national partnerships with the Mexican Consulate and their Ventanilla de Salud program, the National Hispanic Council on Aging, the National Hispanic Medical Association, and the National Association of Hispanic Nurses, where we're raising awareness to these large organizations and also bringing services to their local communities. And then locally, we have partnerships like the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, like Casa de Salud, Latino Roundtable, Hispanic Leaders Group, where we're working to raise awareness within their membership, to let the community, to let businesses know that we're here to help.
Yeah, it's great. Like you just mentioned, you guys are members of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce in here in St. Louis. And have you felt, you kind of touched a little bit about it, but have you felt like a support or that has opened maybe like a little bit more of a door towards like the Hispanic and Latino community? Absolutely,
yeah. Members have been so supportive of the work that we're doing. They're sharing our resources with families. We've made different connections with other members where we've been able to collaborate with different events and attend some of their events. And it's trickling down to the community as well, where some of their families are reaching out to us for support, because we know the importance of trust in the community as well as presence in the community. So we're bringing education programs and support groups in those areas where it's most needed, and we're participating in health fairs, community events, festivals, to raise awareness about the disease, because like you said, there's lots of misconceptions.
There's so many, and I feel like it's sometimes it's a disease. I don't want to say that people don't give it importance, because they do, but I feel like it's as deadly as like cancer and diseases like that, and sometimes it doesn't get like maybe the research or the importance than like cancer gets, for example. And it's even, I mean, I don't know the exact numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's as deadly, if not deadlier, than cancer is.
Yeah, so I mean, cancer is definitely impacting the community, but I know Alzheimer's, 1 in 9 adults over the age of 65 are living with Alzheimer's. And so in Missouri, for example, I believe we have something over 120,000 people living with the disease, and more than 250,000 caregivers who are supporting someone with the disease. And kind of like you said, there continues to be the stigma where people are afraid to talk about it. They're afraid to talk with their doctors, or sometimes they think it's just normal part of aging, because I know growing up, it was just common for people to think that, okay, you know, grandpa is getting older, that's normal. But it's not normal when they've done finances their entire life and they begin to have issues with their finances. Maybe they begin to have an increased number of car accidents, trouble with, you know, technology, using the remote control, or maybe they're just making decisions, like inappropriate decisions that they wouldn't have made previously. Those are all warning signs that people may not know, and may not think are serious enough to talk with the doctor about it.
And it's also at the same time, it's not like, oh, I forgot my keys once, oh my god, I got Alzheimer's, you know.
Oh yeah, I know. I forget my keys all the time. Like, where are they? And that's normal. But because I can then recall, you know, where I put it. But some of these other things are not normal. Like, if I've been the homemaker my entire life, if I've been responsible for cooking, and then all of a sudden I'm burning everything, or I'm leaving the stove on, that's different.
Okay. And so I was going through your programs, and you guys have a lot of programs. You have like an education program to raise awareness. You have the Walk to End Alzheimer's. Can you tell us a little bit about the programs you guys have?
Absolutely. First, I'll start with the walk, because you brought that up, and then I'll talk about our other programs.
Sounds great.
Our Walk to End Alzheimer's is really our largest event to raise awareness and funds for research, care, and support. So through this event, our goal is for families in the communities to create teams and raise awareness about the disease within their own community, as well as raise funds that go directly towards supporting research throughout the world, as well as providing care and support services through the Alzheimer's Association to families. And so families are able to create teams, and then on the day of the walk, which in St. Louis, it's going to be October 29th at the Chesterfield Amphitheater. So if you're here, please come and attend. Families can come in and walk with us and show support, and it's really about turning the whole, you know, Hall of St. Louis purple, just to let everybody know that it's impacting our communities here in St. Louis, but there is help and there is hope.
Is there a price to do that? Do you just show up and like do the walk? Like, do you buy a shirt? How can like people help, you know?
Yeah, there's no cost to participating. You just create a team. So if you go to our website, alz.org/walk.
And we'll put that at the bottom for people to see that.
Thank you. Yeah. You just create a team, And then there, if you're so inclined to raise funds, you can. And then you just join us for our walk. Just show up.
Yeah.
That's the most important part. Show up and show your support.
Yeah. Now you guys know that you can't. There's no excuse, right? All you have to do is show up, right?
All you have to do is show up.
So
yeah, we want to
excuse.
see you there.
Yeah, there's no excuse.
Because it's really great just to see so many people in purple representing the families or the person that they're caring for, the families that they've lost to this disease. Yeah. And everybody gets a flower to represent whether they're an ally, a caregiver living with the disease. So it's just a very powerful event. So I encourage everybody. But that's only that's one aspect. I think we provide a lot of other services to families. The most important one, I think, one of the most important ones is our 24/7 helpline. Yeah. So we have a free number that anybody can call, whether it's 3 in the morning, 4 p.m., whatever time it is, and you will speak with a dementia expert.
Okay.
And so
do you have the number, or I don't know if you know it by heart?
Yeah, 1-800-272-3900.
Perfect. We'll put that at the bottom too if somebody wants to contact that line. I feel like sometimes, like you mentioned it earlier, I think a lot of people that might think they have it or are showing symptoms, they're ashamed to like admit it or I think you mentioned like even tell your doctor about it.
Yeah.
So lines like that, I think they're really helpful because it's over the phone, so it's a little bit more private in the sense of like very you can private. Say something and you're not seeing the other person face to face, and sometimes that can change. Yeah, that can change everything.
Absolutely, it's a great resource. It's oftentimes the number one way that families are getting connected with all of our other services. Okay. And we do have experts that speak English, Spanish, other languages, and if there's not a staff member that speaks that language, we will find, we have a translation service that we can work with. I believe we provide service to over 100 different languages.
Oh, that's great. I didn't know that's a lot of that's a lot of languages. So what's the education programs that you guys have?
Yeah, so another service that we provide are these education programs, which is just a great opportunity for anybody to come and learn about the disease. So we have more general programs like understanding Alzheimer's and dementia, knowing the 10 signs, which are pretty basic. And then we have more in-depth programs for people who are currently dealing with the disease, like caregivers or people living with it. So we have a group of programs called Living With, and it's living with early stage, a separate one for middle stage, separate one for late stages, where caregivers can come in and learn how to support people in different stages of the disease. We have a program on managing money, which is really important when talking about financial planning and legal planning. And understanding communication strategies and understanding challenging behaviors. So we really have a lot of programs which are free. There's a lot that are happening in your community if you're listening, as well as ones that you can take online for free. And if you want to do it online, it's alz.org/training.
Perfect. We'll put that at the bottom too. And for people who are listening on Spotify, can you say that one more time?
Absolutely. It's alz.org/training.
Perfect. So we've talked about the Alzheimer's Association does a lot of research about this disease, right? For people who want to like learn more about it, are you like the guys doing the research? Is there like a separate entity and you guys just like found like do the funding? Like, how does that work? Who's the person like or the entity doing the research?
Yeah, so the Alzheimer's Association is the largest funder of research, and we're funding independent researchers or institutions around the globe who are doing this research. And it's really not just in the United States, because who's to say, the answer isn't in another continent. So I think last time I looked, I believe we're funding research in 48 different countries, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, research in Alzheimer's, all other dementias, with our vision being a world without Alzheimer's. and all other dementia. And we also host the largest international conference for researchers. It's called Alzheimer's Association International Conference, where we bring in researchers and professionals from around the globe so that they can present to one another. So they're learning about what's happening, what kind of research is happening around globally, make those connections and promote collaboration within these researchers. And then for the community, if anybody's interested in a clinical study, we have a program called Trial Match, where if you are interested, just Google Alzheimer's Association Trial Match. It asks you a few questions about yourself. And then what it does is it pulls a list of clinical studies that you are eligible to participate in. So it doesn't sign you up for them. It just tells you, hey, you are eligible for these studies. And then I would then be able to go in and contact the research and say, hey, I learned about your study. I want to participate in it. And so that's, and I know researchers are looking for both people who are living with the disease, caregivers, as well as healthy individuals. So people who have no memory changes or cognitive decline, so that we can keep track of memory changes across a lifespan.
Yeah. Okay. So now that we talked about the funding and stuff, like what if there's somebody who's watching and they're like, I want to make a donation, I want to help out, how can they do that? Who do they need to contact and all that stuff?
So donations are always appreciated but not expected. Individuals can go to our website, alz.org, and make a donation online. You can stop by our office and make a donation in person. You can join a walk team or create a walk team for a Walk to End Alzheimer's and raise funds that way. We also have another fundraiser that's called The Longest Day, which focuses around the summer solstice, which is a little bit more creative, where you can come up with, whatever idea you want to do to raise funds. But that's only one way. I think what I would encourage anybody listening to you is just participate in a program, because our goal is to get this information out to families. If you want to donate, that's wonderful, and we really appreciate it. But also come and learn about Alzheimer's and dementia. Come and learn about the warning signs. So if you're noticing it in a family member or someone that you can gently say, hey, I've been noticing some changes. I'm concerned about you. Is everything okay? And then lastly, volunteering. I believe this last year, 91% of our programs were delivered by a volunteer. So that's education programs, support groups, early stage programs, our faith ambassador program. Those were all delivered by volunteers out in the community who are passionate about Alzheimer's disease and raising awareness. So volunteering is a great way to give back, and we're always looking for volunteers.
That's great, yeah, because that was gonna be like my other question, like how can people help out without donating? But I feel like you answered that that pretty well. I feel like one of the things you said that caught my attention was like knowing how to and when to like approach a person that you might be seeing, like, okay, I think this person's showing symptoms and stuff, because a lot of people might be sensitive over that, right? They might get upset at you, they might get mad at you because why is this person saying this? So it's always great to like know when to approach it, how to approach it, and even if you need to approach it. Like, because you might be thinking, going back to the keys example, like, oh, this person is losing his keys all the time, he probably has that, and then it turns out that not at all, but if you go to their classes, go to their education programs and do their things, it's going to be easier for you to catch the signs if there's any. So,
absolutely.
Is there anything else you would like to tell our viewers on Facebook and our listeners on Apple Podcast and Spotify?
Absolutely. The two other programs that I forgot to mention is our support group. So we do have a variety of support groups for people living with the disease, as well as for caregivers. If you're looking to connect with other people who are having a similar experience, those are available for you. If you are someone who's currently living with the disease, maybe you were recently diagnosed and you have questions, there are support groups available for you. We also have more social activity-based programs. Like, for example, we've worked with the botanical gardens where they're doing a guided tour for people living with the disease. And then we have education programs as well. So however we can help you, we are here for you. Like I said, the best way to make that first contact is through our 24/7 helpline number. 800-272-3900. But please don't hesitate to call whatever question you may have.
Thank you, Ben, for being with us today. It was a great episode. I know I learned a lot. I hope our viewers and listeners learn a lot about this. And like he said, if you guys have anybody who's suffering from Alzheimer's, or yourself, or think that somebody is, please reach out to them. They'll help you out. It's a great cause, and if you can donate, if you can help out, that's also greatly appreciated. This has been the end of Latinidad in the Lou. I am your host, Miguel Rincan. Ben Molina, thank you, and we'll see you guys in the next one.